The story begins at the Aomori branch of the JR East Morioka Shinkansen Rolling Stock Center. A group of students on a field trip tour the facility and learn about the Tohoku Shinkansen trains. Their guide Mr. Takeuchi is a train conductor who answers questions about his job. He explains the romantic idea of strangers sharing a journey. The group later boards Hayabusa number 24 bound for Tokyo. On board are various passengers including the students, a politician named Yuko Kagami and a celebrity author named Mitsuru Todoroki. Meanwhile, at the JR East call center, a threatening call comes in. The caller claims a bomb has been planted on Hayabusa number 24. The bomb will detonate if the train slows below a certain speed. To prove the threat is real, a bomb on a freight train detonates after it slows down. This confirms the credibility of the threat. At the control center, officials scramble to respond. They disable the automatic train control system on the Hayabusa to prevent it from slowing. All other bullet trains are suspended. The Hayabusa is ordered to skip its next scheduled stop at Hakinohi. Passengers are told the train is bypassing the station due to operational issues. On board, students discuss their personal dramas unaware of the danger. Government officials and police become involved. The perpetrator demands 100 billion yen. They insist the money be raised by the people of Japan, divided equally among citizens. The train must not stop or slow down. JR East and government authorities must act fast to keep the train in motion and avoid catastrophe. As panic spreads on board, Mr. Takeuchi tries to keep the passengers calm. He tells them the truth when instructed by the government. Reactions vary from fear to anger to confusion. Kagami tries to calm the crowd but faces backlash for her political scandal. Mr. Takeuchi stands firm in his duty to protect everyone. Back at the control center, officials face a new crisis. Another train is stalled on the southbound track ahead of the Hayabusa. A collision seems imminent. They reroute the Hayabusa to the northbound track at high speed, a dangerous maneuver. The train passes through Morioka just in time and switches tracks, barely avoiding disaster. On board, Todoroki seizes the moment to launch a crowdfunding campaign. He urges passengers and citizens to donate toward the ransom. His speech inspires passengers to spread the message on social media. A student named Aoi joins him in pleading to the public. The hashtag campaign begins trending online. While the government condemns the campaign, they struggle to offer a better alternative. Public pressure grows. The media questions the government's rigid stance. A video released by the perpetrator confirms the bomb's existence, intensifying public fear and outrage. Meanwhile, authorities trace the bomb to car 13 but remain unsure if other bombs are present. Passengers experience turbulence as the train changes tracks. Mr. Takeuchi and the crew reassure them and continue managing the crisis on board. The train survives a near collision with only a minor impact to the front car. Tensions rise as passengers confront the government's lack of action. Todoroki defends his campaign during a live broadcast. Critics accuse him of supporting terrorism, but he argues that saving lives is worth the cost. He reveals that he started the fund himself. Despite this, he continues to raise money with public support. A heated debate erupts between Todoroki and a government representative. The official insists paying ransom only encourages more terrorism. Todoroki counters that the economic value of saving lives far exceeds the cost. Emotions run high as passengers and citizens grapple with the moral and practical dilemmas. As the train hurtles toward Tokyo, the crisis deepens. The bomb remains active. The passengers remain hostages. The government refuses to pay. Todoroki's campaign gains traction. The situation remains unresolved, with time running out and the lives of everyone on board still in grave danger. A high-speed bullet train bound for Tokyo becomes the center of a national crisis when it's discovered that bombs have been planted on board. The situation intensifies as the bombers demand ransom via social media, targeting a disgraced helicopter executive, Mr. Goto, who is among the passengers. Tensions rise as some passengers blame him for the accident that ruined their lives, calling for him to apologize. Violence nearly erupts on board as fear and panic set in. Train staff led by conductor Takeuchi and crew member Ms. Kazagi work tirelessly to keep order. When the emergency button is pressed due to a disturbance, the crew decides not to stop the train to avoid detonating the bomb. As authorities coordinate a daring mid-motion rescue operation, a parallel train delivers tools to physically uncouple one of the train cars while maintaining speeds over 200 km per hour. Despite the risks, they successfully detach the last car, rescuing most of the passengers. However, 9 individuals, including crew and passengers, remain on board the bomb-rigged train. With time running out and the train hurtling toward Tokyo, debate ensues among government officials about potentially stopping the train forcefully to prevent a catastrophic urban explosion. Amid bureaucratic tension and political opportunism, a bold proposal is made: reroute the train onto the Tokaido Shinkansen line, allowing it to continue past Tokyo to a safer area. Meanwhile, one passenger, Yuzuki, reveals a shocking truth to her powerful and controlling father: he's not the victim he pretends to be. She confesses that she planted the bombs herself, exposing the father's long-held lie that he avenged a past terrorist act. Her defiant confrontation upends the narrative of justice he clung to. The rescue train successfully couples with the bomb train. Chaos nearly derails the second transfer, but most passengers evacuate safely. Despite another bomb explosion in detached rear cars, no injuries are reported. With no time for another operation, the remaining passengers and crew must continue to Tokyo. In the end, it's revealed that the mastermind behind the bombing sought not just revenge but a reckoning with politics, corporate corruption, and personal lies. As the train races forward, so does the question: how far must people go to be heard in a society that looks the other way? A teenage girl named Yuzuki Onodera hijacks the Hayabusa No. 8 bullet train, claiming she has planted bombs on board. She reveals herself to be the bomber and demands no ransom or political concessions. Her true motive is revenge against her abusive father. Tsutomu Onodera, a former police officer, falsely celebrated as a hero after a past bombing incident. She has already used one bomb to kill her father at their home. Now she threatens to detonate the others aboard the train. She claims the only way to defuse the bombs is to kill her, as the detonation signal is linked to her heartbeat and controlled via a smartphone app connected to a medical monitor implanted in her body. Authorities initially doubt her, but a blast at her home confirms her claims. Emergency responders scramble to create a solution as the high-speed train continues toward Tokyo. The police uncover that Yuzuki's story is true and that she did not act alone. Her accomplice Masaru Koga is revealed to be the son of a bomber Tsutomu Onodera falsely claimed to have shot dead years ago. Koga, a blasting expert, taught Yuzuki how to build bombs and manipulate explosives. He has been using her as a pawn to exact revenge on Onodera. Koga is eventually located and shot dead by the police. The government considers killing Yuzuki but ultimately decides to avoid it. Instead, they devise a daring plan to manually uncouple the train cars carrying the bombs and divert them to a less populated branch line using two precisely timed switch operations. The train must continue at high speed, and if the uncoupling and switching are mistimed, the entire train could derail. Crews across several cities coordinate the effort under intense pressure. They pad the cars to protect passengers from impact and prepare for emergency response. As the train reaches the switch point, the first switch is thrown just as car 15 passes, detaching the bomb-laden cars from the front of the train. The detached section derails and explodes on the branch line. Despite the violent impact, all passengers survive. Emergency teams rush in, extinguish fires, and evacuate the injured. The media covers the rescue live, and the nation watches with suspense. Yuzuki is arrested and shows no remorse. Despite sympathy from some for the abuse she suffered, she refuses to claim victimhood and insists she acted of her own free will. She criticizes society's superficial kindness and the false sense of normality people maintain. Police officer Kawago expresses some hope for her redemption, but she remains cold and resolute. Meanwhile, emergency services restore order, transport survivors to safety, and resume partial train operations. The film ends with the passengers and rescuers celebrating survival and teamwork. A fund is started for victims of the attack, which quickly reaches its goal, suggesting that despite the darkness exposed, human compassion and cooperation persist. If you enjoy watching this video, then subscribe to Angel Recaps for the latest movies explanation.